Hi there, and welcome to our Honorary Lightmaster of the Month nominee. We also are starting to include other stories of good news, news that inspires us, because we all know that we could use much more light and good news on this planet. So these are in no particular order. We have 8 runners-up and then our Lightmaster of the Month, our Honorary Lightmaster of the Month. Our first shout out goes to President Obama here in the United States for his Medal of Freedom picks that he just did this past month. So for the last time during his tenure in office, President Obama bestowed the Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor, on a distinguished array of American icons. The medal, which has existed in some form since the Truman administration, has been given at Obama's discretion more than any other president. And according to the Washington Post, he has honored women and people of color at a rate higher than any of his predecessors. Well done, President Obama. We're going to miss you. So second goes to Dolly Parton. Shout out to Dolly Parton. She's a singer-songwriter here in the United States again, and she pledged $1,000 a month to families made homeless by the Tennessee fires this past fall. Actually, just recently, the past couple weeks. She said, "We want to provide a hand up to all those families that have lost everything in the fires. And to recover, we want to make sure that the Dollywood Foundation provides $1,000 a month to all those families that have lost their homes in the fires until they get back up on their feet. I know it has been a trying time for my people," she said, "and this assistance will help." Thank you, Dolly Parton. So there's an MIT professor, David Wilson, who developed a new solar technology that would bring a solar cooker that functions at night. This invention will significantly benefit developing nations who depend on wood for cooking. There are a lot of solar cookers out there, Wilson says, but surprisingly not many use latent heat storage as an attribute to cook the food. There have been solar cookers, grills, and ovens made before, but they all had to be used during the day to function. So thank you, Professor David Wilson. Well done. So the BBC World Hacks wanted us to meet the fog catcher who's bringing water to the poor people of Lima in Peru. So his name is Abel, and he is a Peruvian entrepreneur who set up dozens of fog nets to supply water to people in Lima who have no access to water. The fog droplets get trapped in the mesh and travel through pipes into tanks. The water is not drinkable, but it is used for the crops that these people are growing. Abel plans on setting up more nets and making the water drinkable. So thank you so much, Entrepreneur Abel. So next, number 5, Mike Pence's New Neighbors. So Mike Pence is our vice president-elect here in the United States. His new neighbors hung rainbow pride flags on their home to protest the homophobic thinking of our vice president-elect. So according to the news station, there are about a dozen rainbow flags flying around the block, and more are said to be coming. So this is just a quiet, gentle protest, and they had not ill will towards the vice president-elect. They just want him to see how many people around him actually support these types of diversity and lifestyle and people of all walks of life. So thank you so much, Mike Pence's new neighborhood. Next, the first paralyzed human was treated with stem cells, and he has now regained his upper body movement. So this story is of Christopher Boson. The process began in April of this past year, where Dr. Liu injected 10 million AST OPC1 cells directly into Chris's cervical spinal cord. After a mere 3 weeks of therapy, Chris started showing signs of improvement, and within 2 months he could answer the phone, write his name, and operate a wheelchair. He had regained significant improvement in his motor functions, which are the transmission of messages from the brain to muscle groups to create movement. That's phenomenal. So Steve and the group has talked about stem cells for a long time now, so this is a great development. Next in our news, Lady Gaga surprises and shares love with the LGBT teens, with a group of LGBTQ teens in Harlem with her Share Kindness campaign by giving clothes and love to homeless and traumatized teens. So as much as we can, share love and kindness, my friends. Next, Peruvian President Kuczynski declared Peru will plant 2 million hectares, which is almost 2.5 million acres, so 2 million hectares of trees to restore the Amazon forest. He says, we have to bring rain and we need forests to do so. We are going to plant 2 million hectares of trees in the highlands. So thank you so much, President Kuczynski. So our Light Master of the Month award goes to 4-year-old Norah Wood of Atlanta, Georgia. So Norah Wood, what she did was she loved somebody. Dann Peterson, he is an 82-year-old man living in also Atlanta, Georgia, and he fell into a deep depression about 6 months ago after his wife Mary passed away. He felt like he was just waiting to die and didn't have a will or a purpose to live. So one day he was shopping in the grocery store, and Norah Wood and her mom Tara Wood and her little sister were going shopping too, and they turned into this canned food aisle, and Norah reached out to him like she was magnetized to Mr. Dann. And she said to him, "Hi, old person, it's my birthday." And then she asked him to take a picture. So her mom said she was a bit mortified about that. And he said, "A picture? Of course I will." So she took a picture with him for her birthday, and he said it was the first time that he could remember in a long time that he was happy, that he had become happy, that he was feeling happiness. So this relationship has developed. They visit once a week. Their family has become close with Mr. Dann. And Mr. Dann has grandchildren. Norah has grandparents, but Tara Wood, Norah's mom, said she just zeroed in on him like a missile. She wanted to make him feel loved and give him a hug. And again, it was the first time in a while that he had felt that happy. Laura's mom said that this is a completely different kind of bond than the one she has with her own grandparents that almost defies explanation. One day she even fell asleep holding a picture of Mr. Dann. Mr. Dann said that he's got a good explanation for this. He believes that Norah is quite literally an angel. He said she opened him to a kind of love that he didn't even know existed. Tara Wood says that Mr. Dann loves to get cards and mail, so she's given us his address. She's on Facebook, Tara Wood Writer. She's given us his address, so I'll post that in here too. If you feel inclined, send him a note as well. It's an incredibly sweet story. Watching the video, I'm sure will touch your heart. So Norah Wood, our Light Master of the Month. Thank you so much, Norah. You're just beginning the journey. You're giving us hope for the future. So this is the kind of love that's on the planet. This love that is just unbound. It is just ready to be shared. So thank you, Norah, for sharing your light and your love. Thank you, all of these people that are contributing to the forward moving and evolution of our beautiful planet. Thank you.